morning, everyone. My topic today is euthanasia should be legal in Taiwan. I don't know if you had an experience of facing your loved one, your family members, or maybe friends passed away. It should be hard and tough to go through that. But think of this kind of situation. You watched your loved one lying there, and they couldn't even move or even open their eyes, and maybe they couldn't breathe by themselves because they will suffer from some disease which is very serious, or some car accident, some injury. And your loved one just can't go with dignity. And they have to lie there just like a living dead body. For me, I don't want to see my loved one become like that, just lying there and suffer those torture day after night, and without any possible to become healthy again. So I'd rather choose another way for them to make choice, to give another way for life. That is euthanasia. And to support my argument, there are 3 points. First, what I mentioned. I think a human being should pass away with dignity, and not like lying there become a living dead body, or let them living in a hell. And second, some treatment which is to continue life could actually become the second injury to them. For example, CPR, DC shock, intubation. This kind of treatment is actually very, very painful. And sometimes, even though you put the treatment on the patient, they couldn't survive and get better. You just put another torture on them. And third, those patients, the money of the treatment is actually very expensive, and it might cause another disaster to the patient's family. And there's the example of a few years ago called Wang Xiaoming. She suffered from a serious car accident, and all of his family members tried to urge money to afford her treatment. But after years passed, Wang Xiaoming didn't wake up, and their family couldn't stand for anymore, and then asked the government to let them apply euthanasia to Wang Xiaoming. But I know there's some other voice about euthanasia. Some people might say euthanasia is against human living rights because euthanasia is just like murdering. But in my opinion, seeing them lying there and let them suffer from the torture is more cruel than apply euthanasia and let them pass away with dignity. And sometimes those patients will actually waste the medical resources because there's other patients who need those resources and equipment. Second, some people will argue that those patients who is in coma we don't know if the patient want to take euthanasia or not, or they want to make effort to try to wake up or not. But to rebut these arguments, I suggest that everyone should sign a file to empower one of your close members to decide whether you want to go or not, or take euthanasia when you suffer from some accident. And to sum up, euthanasia is actually not equal to murder. I think euthanasia is another way to release the patient's suffering. And let me tell you a story from one of my close friends. She is a very optimistic girl, and I never saw her shed a drop of tear, even though she felt very disappointed. But one day when we are talking and we discussed to her grandfather, she told me that after his grandfather was struck by a car, his grandfather fell into a coma and couldn't even move and open his eyes and just lie there, and scars are full of his body. And when a doctor want to intubate his grandfather, put the tongue in his nose, his grandfather finally moved, because it's very, very pain, and his grandfather's body naturally want to resist the tongue go into his nose. And after the first aid, those treatments, his grandfather still passed away. But my friend is very strong, so she didn't cry, but she told me that she really wants another way to, she really could have another way to give his grandfather, like let him go with dignity, not like this kind of torture. Thank you for your lesson.